Hiya and welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the Chloe and Abi show. We got renewed for another episode, surprisingly, Abi.
We did. I can't believe it. And I've got a terrible chest infection and will keep coughing, so that's probably going to be the beginning of the end.
See you all later.
Yeah, see you all later, because you'll never want to hear me cough ever again, because apparently it did everyone's head in when I did... Was it a pre-match one? I don't even know. I did another show the other day and I was coughing and it did everyone's head in, so I apologise, but you're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, you are. I was about to say we've came matching, but you're actually in like a blue, a dark...
I'm in an Everton colour today.
But you can't really tell that. It looks black to me on the screen. Maybe you can tell it on the actual screen. But we are back for another episode. We will talk more about the Reds today because, you know, it's actually a little bit positive. We've won 2 games on the bounce. So we'll get into that a little bit more in a second. We'll have a little look at how Trent was welcomed back on his homecoming. And then also we'll have a look to the future. We'll have a look at Arsenal and City, the games that they've got coming up in line with us. And also... You've enjoyed it so much. We did a Q&A the first time round. We've decided we want yous involved in this just as much as us. This is your podcast just as much as ours. And the feedback was absolutely unbelievable. We couldn't thank you enough for the positive feedback you gave us. So every single episode we do, we will select a couple of questions that you want us to answer and we will answer them. They can be football, they can be non-football, they can be funny, they can be serious. It doesn't matter. We'll give you a kind of non-Liverpool aspect as well at times. So yeah, thank you so much. Let's get into the podcast then. Liverpool have won 2 games on the bounce, Abi. We've been more aggressive, we've been more passionate on the pitch, we've won individual battles. I'd say what's tactically changed, but I think we've just came up against 2 sides who are actually quite happy playing decent football against us and trying to implement their style of play. And they've not really reverted to the long balls and the long throw-ins, the set pieces, the balls in behind the full-backs. That has really stung us in the past.
How nice was it to be at Anfield and have a game of football where it felt like the team actually wanted to play a game of football? Listen, the Real Madrid players were throwing themselves all over the floor. Like, you couldn't touch them. If they felt any contact on the back, they were throwing themselves down. But at least they tried to have a go at us. At least it felt like there was a proper game of football there, and they weren't trying to, like you've just said, the long throws and shit like that is getting on my nerves at the minute, to be honest. I understand that it's just tactics and it's just a way to win a football game, and that's all we're all trying to do at the minute. But to actually watch us be able to play a game of football, look a little bit more structured, look a little bit composed.
More in control as well.
Yeah, definitely. A bit more against Madrid. I think that's definitely our best game of the season. It's easy to forget the first 5 that we won because of so many late winners, but I don't think any of those performances were anywhere near what we experienced against Madrid. Just being in that ground with that atmosphere, watching a proper game of football, just such a relief. And then obviously we end up scoring off a set piece with Szoboszlai, and then probably the smallest lad on the pitch in McAllister gets his head on the end of it and we score that way, and just it's such a relief.
It is. I think the other thing that we've got to look at is the fact that a lot of players have just raised the level in the past 2 games as well. And confidence hopefully breeds confidence, like winning hopefully breeds winning. And I just think the likes of Conor Bradley, Robertson, Mo Salah, McAllister, like you mentioned there, having Ryan Gravenberch back, like we've just looked a lot better in terms of on the ball, but also off the ball. And yeah, I'm really happy that I'm seeing a positive performance from us because, like you mentioned, those first 5 games that we played, we got positive results, but Liverpool were in control for a lot of those games of football, and Real Madrid came to town. And it was the roles reversed from last season. Liverpool were on a high. Liverpool were seen as the best team in Europe last season. And Madrid rocked up and they were stuttering a little bit. This time around, it's Liverpool who were stuttering a little bit in terms of, look, we got 1 win under our belt, but no one could have told you how we'd get on in the next, 2 games. We'd just gone out of the cup. We'd basically thrown the game away. So there was a lot of I don't know, there just wasn't a lot of stability in the side. So the fact that we put out that performance and it felt like a statement performance was just, was everything. And it gives you a little bit of confidence going into the City game, because we've shown in the past 2 games, if you want to come to Anfield and you want to play nice football along the floor and you want to try and beat us and go head to head with us that way, we're actually a really good footballing team when we're on the ball and when, you know, it's not these long throws. And look, all of that needs to be tactically addressed. It does. But if you want to come like Manchester City, if you want to go to the Etihad, if we've got a plan, if you want to play a proper game of football, Liverpool are very much able to do that.
Yeah, I didn't go into that Madrid game feeling as confident as I'd wanted to be, obviously because of the 6 and 7, but that Villa game, it was just an inkling that we were still there, that we, you know, these players still have that skill. They were actually
footballers.
Yeah, they're actually still footballers, you know, like that midfield came back to life and there's still life in it, you know, there's players like Mo Salah can still perform at such a high level, and Konate and Van Dijk look finally back to their best. I think the left-hand side made a massive difference. I think when we've had Kirkes and Gakpo sort of down that left, it's not been working, and I don't know whether that comes from Slot telling Kirkes to do something different than what he wants to do. Yeah. But when we had Florian Wirtz on the left against Madrid, and then he was sort of more dropping into the middle, helping the midfield out a little bit. There's even one time where he's on the right and he manages to get a ball across. It gives Robertson that sort of licence to push forward, and the rest of them were covering for Robbo there. It just felt like a breath of fresh air to be able to see that, and that's no slight on Kirkes and Gakpo, because if anything, Gakpo's probably got some of the best stats in terms of the forwards this season, but he's so predictable. Yeah. He's still creating goals, he's still getting those moments, but it just felt like it needed a new lease of life, and having Wirtz on that left and being given the licence to roam and do what he wants to do, and having Andy Robertson there to be able to pass some of those through balls. Oh, I've missed Andy Robertson, and that was the proper Andy Robertson. And I don't know if he can go again for City. That's a big question, which I'm sure we'll come on to. But he doesn't look like the same tired guy that we've been seeing.
He looks re-energised.
At the end of last season, that was a position I thought we needed to address, and then it's a bit like he's decided, no, you're not taking me shit that quickly, and he looked really good. Never mind Conor Bradley on the other side.
Absolutely immense was Conor. Reminds me of a young Robertson just on that right-hand side. And let me tell you, Vinny had scored 5 and 5 against Liverpool, and honestly, he put him to bed. Like, he didn't get a single thing out of him. And you're reminded just how much of a moaner is Vinicius Jr. because, my God, he couldn't get anything out of Bradley and just instead decided to dive or moan about anything. He fouls Bradley, gets yellow carded as well. It was just an absolute wonderful performance from the lad.
You're forgetting that this is the lad that made the whole of Madrid boycott the Ballon d'Or a few years ago when he didn't win it, and that was how much of a strop he put up for not winning it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Salah didn't go this year when he didn't win it, but the whole football club didn't decide to rebel against that. But yeah, Bradley absolutely, he had him. The ground, the atmosphere and everything for Conor Bradley every time he touched the ball was just amazing. And I don't know whether that was partly the Trent effect, maybe because we were all singing there's only one Conor Bradley, it gave him that little bit of a lift to think, I'm going to have another one of those moments like I did against Mbappe last season, which everyone keeps asking me to paint still. I think I'm going to have to do him absolutely doing Vinicius as well, to be honest. I'll have to do a piece of both of that, but it just felt like Bradley loves a game against Madrid. He loves the confidence boost he gave him last season when he had that moment where he tackled Mbappe, that he's come up against Vinicius and he's absolutely had him. He was tackled. Do you know what the thing is? There's been times this season where I've felt Bradley looks a little bit naive, a little bit frightened to throw himself in. You know, he's like double guessed himself at times with what move he was going to make, and it's made me think, oh, he doesn't look like that mature player that we were so used to last season. That's completely went out the window now. He looks back to his best. He looks like a proper professional on the pitch, and he wasn't letting him pass them whatsoever. It wasn't. Was unbelievable. I
loved every second of it, and those types of performances. Look, never underestimate a lad who's just sliding into everything, who gives everything. I mean, I still remember James Milner against Neymar in the first couple of minutes of a game, just absolutely put one on Neymar. And it just gets the crowd up. It just gets them involved. And you mentioned Trent, so we'll mention it. And look, we know that there's a load of podcasts out there who've already done analysis, tactics, and, you know, basically gave you all a reaction from these 2 games of football. So we will look ahead quite soon because, you know, why not? But we do have a question.
A million questions.
We do have quite a lot.
Everyone's asked us.
But we'll get
Trent.
to the first question. And this time we can actually say your name, guys, because we've got your names.
I remembered them this time, guys. I didn't actually remember them. I forwarded them to you, and you've kept all the names. It wasn't actually me, so you might actually get your name right. I don't know.
So Gary O'Connor, 97, says, do you ever think there will be a time when Trent is forgiven? A bit like the way Torres is now. This is tough for me because I'm going to be... however you feel on this situation, if you want to boo him, if you want to clap him, if you want to do whatever, you do you. If you still think he's a legend, that's perfectly fine. I've got no problems with you thinking that. However, for me, and this is my personal attachment and from being in that ground, for me, I'm not sure Trent will be forgiven because Torres left to go to Chelsea, which was absolutely horrendous. It was possibly my first heartbreak in life. He left to go to Chelsea. Liverpool weren't brilliant, when he left. And also, he's not a Scouser. He's not from the city. He's not, for the entire time he's been here, used the background of, I'm a Scouser.
He wasn't raised by this football club like Trent was.
Exactly. And Trent used I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm a Scouser, born and bred, this is my club, I want to captain this club, I want to do this, I want to do that. Torres didn't follow that same discipline because, he was a Spanish lad. Trent kind of enticed you in and kept you right there because of all of that, because he was one of you and because he played on that. And for me, the way in which he left, it wasn't like he actively came out and said, I'll be going, right, let's put this all aside so I can get on with the football. He left it till last minute. He kept just, second guessing yourself and thinking. And for me, I'm just not sure because ultimately he's gone to a European giant who've beat us in the past, who've beat us when he's been on the pitch, and who have a chance to stop Liverpool winning trophies. And not just that, you've stopped us winning trophies by going. We absolutely adored you. We thought you were one of the best players in world football. So much of our attacking quality and our output was from the right back, named Trent Alexander-Arnold. So when you kind of throw that away, I'm not sure you should expect to be anything but booed. And I booed every single Real Madrid player that night. Did I boo Trent even more? Absolutely. Because, I don't want him to have a lovely home coming. Absolutely not. And you know what? To those people who thought, it won't get to him, he's too big of a lad, he's arrogant, he's this, he's that. He misplaced nearly every single pass he did. He did nothing when he came on the football pitch aside from handshake people.
That was probably because of all of us as well, though, to be fair.
I am booing him to try and make Liverpool win a game of football. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Exactly.
And I don't know about you, but I think it's too soon to know if he'll ever be forgiven. Look, I can sit here and say he was an unbelievable footballer and still is. And I've not quite seen, I put him up there with Gerrard in terms of passing. I've never seen anyone pass like that. And sadly, I was, the later end of Gerrard. I didn't see him in his prime. So for me, I think it's too soon to tell, and I don't know, maybe things will die down and he'll be seen as okay. But I'm just not sure. And right now, I want him to regret his decision a million times over.
Do you know what I thought was really weird? His brother was live on TikTok and he was supporting both teams and whipped on a Trent shirt when he came on and was like, let's go, this is the time now. And then obviously when we won, he was going, oh, well, one of my teams won. And then someone in the comments said, do you think Trent shouldn't have left? Do you think he should come back? Yeah, and his response was it's too late now anyway. And I thought that was really weird. For him, his reaction to be, it's too late now anyway. And then he went a bit quiet and then went oh, well, it's only a Champions League game. Let's keep our heads. But the fact that, he thought to even say, well, it's too late now anyway. Well, to acknowledge the fact that, even if there was a part of him that thinks he's made a mistake, it's too late now anyway. That sort of stuck with me a bit because I was I don't think you'd say that unless your dad maybe some sort of inkling or conversation to think that maybe they'd felt like it was a mistake. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, but the thing for me is I don't think he regrets the decision. He's creating his own brand.
He thinks he's bigger than the football club in my point of view. I think Trent wants to build the brand of
like
the celebrity Trent.
Jude Bellingham is like on his own. He's created, he's created a shop window for himself.
Yeah.
He sells everywhere. I think Trent doesn't regret the move. He's living in Spain. He's got his best mate there still. He's earning mega money, absolutely ridiculous money. He's playing for, one of the world's best football teams. And I think he will win stuff. Like, that's inevitable when you go to Real Madrid. So I don't think he will regret it in terms of, I'm on loads of money, I'll probably win loads of stuff anyway. And, I'm going to create Trent, the brand.
It's not until you've retired, though, when you realise you don't have a home, you don't have a place to go back to, you know what I mean? Like, you look at McManaman, and, like, some of us are a bit all right with him, some people aren't. Michael Owen's completely written off by the majority of us. To be fair, I don't think he'll ever be able to step back through that door properly, especially nowadays in the days of social media, because people are a little bit more vile in the way that they put things across. And I'm not saying that I have any sympathy for Michael Owen whatsoever, because I don't, and I don't forgive him either. But to look back at last summer before Trent left, and that photo of him signing the Madrid shirt came out, do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was the moment that I knew, like, he doesn't feel the same about us as we do about him. And I don't know whether it was a little boy who's come up to him and gone, sign this shirt. But for you to then, 12 months later, make that move, no fluent Spanish. Like, I did Sky the other day, and Jodie was saying to me, like, he's all right to learn a language. He's allowed to learn a language. And I was like, it's not that, though. He's gone on the stage in fluent Spanish. His translators come out and said it took him 5 months, which I think it probably took him longer, but they've said it took him 5 months. That means for 5 months, while we were thinking, is he going to stay? He was cupping his ears, did that whole celebration. It made us all think, the West Ham game made us all think, maybe he'll stay, maybe he does. He's cupping his ears because it's the media making out he's going to leave when he actually is going to stay. That was what broke my heart, because that's directed at all of us. That's exactly what that was. That was him saying, like, yous are all slagging me off, but I'm brilliant. Look at me helping yous, that sort of thing. And I don't think I'll forgive him to answer that question, but I also don't think he would have expected any different. Well,
if he did, I think he's stupid. And quite frankly, I was shocked by Xabi Alonso's decision. I thought Xabi Alonso knew Liverpool well enough to not Wolves, put him on.
Didn't he? Like, my dad was going, there's no way he comes on. And
unless
the next
he starts, you just... Because all you're doing now, and I think it was Cameron Rimmer on Twitter who said this. He was like, you know what? They were starting to get on the ball a little bit more. And the crowd was getting a little, not fearful, but where it's like,
we were on edge. We were on edge. Volume dropped a little bit. And all you did was give us an excuse, a really easy excuse to build that atmosphere all the way back up. Yeah. And I just felt like Xabi Alonso was a bit naive, but also like, I just thought he would have known better to do that, because all you're doing is giving fire to that Liverpool crowd, in which you're not silenced them, absolutely not, but it was a period in the game where you knew they're going to throw everything at this. We need to be strong. And you think about how many goals you've conceded and how easy it is to concede. Like, he just gave us a little lift. And it was like, nice one, lad. Like, and that carried us through the rest of the game. And ultimately, I thought Liverpool did not look like they were going to concede at all. Naturally, we got on and we were the most dangerous side after that. But it was just a very strange decision by Xabi Alonso. Yeah, I had the same conversation with my dad, because we were in U5 at the main stand, and we'd had a conversation going, he's not going to throw him out to the Wolves here. Xabi's not stupid. He knows how the Anfield atmosphere works. He knows that if you give us a moment like that, you'll rile us all up and you've got absolutely no chance then. But then all of a sudden I looked down, and in front of the main stand, I seen Trent warming up and he was getting booed. And, like, obviously there was the odd person standing up clapping him and that, which is so funny, because there's literally a video of him where people are clapping at him and he ignores everyone. And I just think, like, you've just stood up and someone goes, have you seen the video where they go, take no notice, lad? And Trent just completely...
I've not seen this. I have heard about it.
Trent just completely ignores him. And I just think... he laughed when we were booing when he was announced as being on the bench, and I just didn't have that feeling that he was going to come on. But the moment I saw him warming up, I thought he's going to do this because he thinks it can go either way. They're already losing the game. He thinks either Trent's going to come on with a point to prove, he's going to whip in one of his amazing balls. You know, we can create something out of nothing. We all know that as Liverpool fans, and that's something that we've missed during them 6 games that we lost. It felt like to me he just took a chance, Xabi, because he thought Trent's either going to come on and create something with his point to prove, or his bottle's going to go, and his bottle went. Like, you could just tell he didn't want the ball no matter what. The moment the ball came to his feet, he got rid of it. Obviously, he had to go with that cross, and it just went completely west.
He tried to do one down the line for Rodrigo. It didn't go anywhere near Rodrigo. And
his head went.
Do you know what? Him coming back to Anfield, as it helped me get over it a little bit more in terms of, like, I'm speaking as if it's a breakup, but, like, yeah, because, like, I don't even have to, like, there's so many times this season, I think you mentioned it, where you were like, oh, if you only had like Trent's quality, you know, to whip a ball in, yada, yada. For me, I can now move on and don't have to think about Trent again. Like, I don't until we face him again. And when we face him again, I will boo him again, because that's just how I will do that. Especially knowing that it got to him the other day. Like, I just will. But, like, I don't actually, like, now it's happened. Now I know what it's like. Now he knows what it's like. I don't even have to think about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Like, I will not take notice in what he's doing for Real Madrid.
But the media at the minute are trying to push this whole thing of Liverpool fans bad, Liverpool fans can't boo an ex-player, how terrible's this? I didn't realise that all of a sudden creating a hostile atmosphere in the Champions League against a team that have literally in recent years beat you in 2 Champions League finals. I didn't realise that all of a sudden that was some sort of controversial take to say, I'm gonna boo every Madrid player. Yeah, one of them did play for us and win everything, but he ran down his contract and decided to leave us all, learned fluent Spanish, signed a Madrid shirt, and the rest. Like, all these factors that they're all ignoring. Like,
but the main factor is you've gone to a European giant who've beat us in 2 recent Champions League finals, and they're coming to Anfield. Of course I'm going to boo you all. Like, I'm going to do everything to make sure that you do not feel comfortable in this atmosphere. I'm going to make it as hostile as I possibly can. And Liverpool do that for every Champions League game. But give us another extra little reason to do it, and we absolutely will. Because that's all you have to do for us. And ultimately, I think Robbo came out of the game and was talking about the atmosphere and how there was the likes of Florian Wirtz, and that was like, wow, good atmosphere. They create something here, don't they? And it's like, well, yeah, when we're called upon, when we're needed, we will be there. And we were there for Aston Villa. The slot song, we knew in that game of football, we had to get behind these lads. We had to get behind the manager, because these are the lads who are getting us through this, or going to have to get us out the other side. So let's try and help them through the game. And you know what? That helped, and it gave you a stepping stone to go into Real Madrid and feel a little bit more confident. So for me, I just don't, like, take away the fact that he's, you know, a Scouser, take away the fact that he's won everything with Liverpool, take away everything. He's a rival player who's gone to a team who are now coming back to try and stop us having success in the Champions League, and a team who've notoriously beat us and do unbelievable in this competition. Of course I'm going to boo him.
Do you think it just feels a little bit like, in terms of the media, it's just like Liverpool bad? Like, no matter what we do, it's Liverpool bad. Like, when you look at these things, it just feels like when you break down all those...
If it's something that'll get clicks...
Hostile atmosphere in the Champions League. Oh, apparently that's not allowed now.
Did you just not come to Barcelona when we were 3-0 down? Because, like, that atmosphere... Was it Alan Shearer who was on the commentary and was like, my God. Yeah. Like, go and ask rival legends of the game who have managed opposition teams. Go and ask them what it's like to come to Anfield. You can go to your Arsene Wenger, you can go to your Jose Mourinho, who, you know, has came with more than just Chelsea. You can go to Ancelotti, go and ask Ancelotti. No team or manager who faced us in the past come to Anfield and expect a walk in the park when it comes to atmospheres. They expect it to be one of the most hostile. There's a reason that Anfield is sold by the cop. There is a reason that is Liverpool's main selling point. It's because it's the 12th man. It's because it gets us up for games. It gets us through games. You know, there's reasons that the ghost goal was given, loads of people say, because of the atmosphere that night against Chelsea. Like, go to all of these ex-players, go to all these ex-managers, go to Gary Neville. Gary Neville said himself that he could not stand Anfield. Like, if there's one place he doesn't want to play, Roy Keane said it's Anfield, because of the atmosphere they can create.
But then
so
again,
don't be shocked.
But then again, they're the same people that on the latest overlap
because
sat around
it gets
today.
clicks, it gets them revenue. It does,
and it winds people up.
And
like
it also
me.
winds everybody up.
It winds me up, and it worked, to be fair. But it's just really frustrating to see they're ex-footballers who are obviously going to look at it from a footballer's perspective. They're not going to look at it from a fan's perspective, in my opinion. They're going to look at it as they've had careers. They know what it feels like to stay in one place. They know what it feels like to make that move, to want to change and stuff like that around that table. But it just felt like it was just a complete attack on us as fans, as if we were just terrible for booing him. And listen, I have no problem with anyone who decided not to boo him either. If you didn't want to, listen, I know I made like a joke before about people standing up and clapping him and stuff like that, which he did ignore. But if you feel that way and you want to appreciate him because he won everything for Liverpool,
as long as you're a Liverpool fan, you have the right to feel or do whatever you think.
Maybe
it's
we would
Liverpool fans it's non-Liverpool fans who I'm just like, you want to start telling me how to feel about Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving Liverpool. Well, you've got no attachment to the club.
Exactly.
So therefore, like, I just don't care what you have to say. But for anyone who went to Anfield, or anyone who sits here now and thinks we're being bitter or whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, you're allowed
you are allowed to do that. If you feel like, if you can put everything aside and you can isolate that he was a boss player for Liverpool and won so many trophies, then fair play to you. You're a better person than I am, because for some reason I can't separate those two. It goes hand in hand with you being a Scouser, you being a Liverpool fan, you being brought up like this, you playing on the role of wanting to be captain, wanting to stay for the rest of your career, wanting to do this, wanting to do that with Liverpool. I can't isolate and take away where some people can, and that is absolutely fine. And as long as you're a Liverpool fan, you're entitled to react or do whatever you want. If you're not a Liverpool fan and you're telling people how to react, but it just doesn't matter because you have no affiliation and no heart or grab on, like, Liverpool is everyone's passion, is everyone's heart. If someone doesn't support Liverpool and is trying to tell us how to react, they've got no affiliation with the club. Nothing is keeping them there to have the reactions that we have. And that means I don't really care what you have to say.
I seen an article that was saying it's like a parasocial relationship, on like Trent isn't actually bothered about us sort of thing, and like it's ridiculous for us to have these feelings about someone that you've never met and all that. But at the end of the day, I take people at face value for what they've said. And he sat there so many times in interviews saying he'd never want to leave Liverpool. He wants to be Liverpool captain. Steven Gerrard's his idol, and this is the place he wants to finish his career. And I take people at face value. I support this football club, and I wanted him at the height of his abilities in his prime to play for Liverpool, just like he told all of us he was going to do. So it's difficult for me now to, you know, be told that I've got this parasocial relationship with him and I clearly don't have any understanding, and you don't know him. And there's Arsenal fans and all that abusing online, like the way they treated Wenger when he left in the end. Exactly. Literally booing him when he still played for them. There's all those sorts of things, and it's like, it just feels like sometimes we're judged a lot heavier than... We are Liverpool. We are always judged a lot heavier. We always will be. There's many reasons in the past that make us the target for things, by the way. But did you not think there'd be more of an understanding about this? Because this is just football being tribal and football being what football is. Hostile. Sure. I'm not sure, because everybody hates Liverpool. Like, it's that simple. We are one of the most hated sides in football. And clicks and all that sort of stuff. That does help. And when it's Liverpool, there's lots of us, of Liverpool fans, so it's obviously going to get those clicks. We're up there with the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man United for, the most known football teams in world football. And sadly, previous things that have happened that are not our fault does also have knock-on effects to the way people look at us. That is just always how it will be, and it's always how you'll be perceived. And that's why you try and not listen to any of those, any of that crap. But to answer the question, we don't think he'll be forgiven. Although Torres did turn up for a Legends game and we all applauded him and all that. But once again, my last point on this is Liverpool left at the point where, Trent left Liverpool at the point where Liverpool could go on and try and dominate in football. He's decided... There's been the likes of Steven Gerrard, Coutinho, Suarez. Suarez was too good for Liverpool by a country mile at the time. Coutinho felt like he was too good for Liverpool, but all of us as fans saw the trajectory and saw,
could picture what was coming next in terms of we were on a mission and we had some goals here and we could see it. Yeah, there was a strategy that we could see and a plan in place. He felt not to do that. Steven Gerrard, I'll go back to it, he's one of the best midfielders ever to grace the football pitch, and he could have left and won a lot more stuff. He didn't. He could have, and he did nearly go to Chelsea.
The way he talks about it, he doesn't.
But what I'm saying is that like they're all different because Trent has left when we are at the peak. When we've just won 20th, can go and win 21. I mean, maybe not now, but the point was there.
Don't be losing
You've
hope
got
already,
the last
Chloe.
2 years of Virgil and Mo. You've got world-class footballers. It's not Steven Gerrard trying to pull strings with a squad that is just miles below him. There is loads of world-class footballers on the pitch. But, we might have bored everybody with that because that was basically the Trent show.
I think people feel the same about us, though. Like, people feel the same.
You might not think the same in terms of we like to boo him and stuff like that, but it might be something that, like, you might be the opposite side of us and wanted to clap him or whatever, and we can all try and understand each other's perspectives. We don't need
as
to
long as you're a Liverpool
fight.
fan, and then I'll take it on board.
On to Liverpool and their future games, though. We'll look at that. We obviously have Manchester City up next, which we'll get on to. Something I do want to point out before I get to that, because I think Manchester City are more of a team like Real Madrid and Villa who will play their style of football. Liverpool have defended set pieces, not the great so far this season. We've conceded 23 throw-ins against Brentford, by the way, one of which led to Dango Ouattara's opener. We only conceded 12 against Aston Villa and 11 against Real Madrid, which, it might not sound loads, but let me tell you, it is. Especially when, like, they don't do long throw-ins necessarily either. Liverpool have conceded 21 goals across all competitions this season, 2 from a set piece and 2 from long throw-ins. Man United have 5 big chances against Liverpool at Anfield, followed by Brentford and Palace both having 3 after that. Liverpool didn't give Aston Villa a big chance on Saturday, and Real Madrid only had 1, which I assume was either the Bellingham or Mbappe one, because they're the only 2 chances that I can even remember. So there's that.
I think it'll be the Bellingham
So
one.
it's showing that up against these teams who want to play us, we actually do have a decent chance against them. And like I said, with Manchester City coming up next, hopefully we've got some plan because they've got world-class footballers everywhere. But Abby, I'm hoping that they come and they don't change their style of play. They don't do long throw-ins. They don't have, these set piece things. They can't bully us. There's a lot of times where, the Crystal Palaces, the Brentfords, those teams, fair play. By the way, there's many ways to play a game of football and they won against us. Fair play. Like, I don't think it's a lovely way to play the game, but is anyone really bothered? No, because they won a game of football by doing it. And when you can see a clear weakness there, of course you should target it. That's just ruthlessness, and I'm absolutely fine with them playing that way. But my point is Pep Guardiola, Manchester City have a style of play, and the likes of Brentford and Palace, what they did was they did long balls and they kind of just let our full, but like one person would maybe challenge the person who's about to head the ball, but there'd be about 4 people anticipating this ball to drop by them and go and attack it. And that was the problem. The second balls, they were all over us for, because they were just letting us head the ball away and go, that's fine, we'll just be quickest to react on that. This is our game plan. And I'm not sure City will try and do that. I think Pep Guardiola and City will try and play the way they play. And therefore, do you think Liverpool have a decent chance against them?
Yeah, I do. I think we've got a chance to capitalise on them, definitely, and try and make them make a few mistakes. I'm hoping we play like we did last season at the Etihad, because that was probably our best performance of the whole of last season, and we basically just let them have possession. We just let them keep hold of the ball for the whole of the game. We
let them play the way we wanted them to play.
Exactly, and we just threw everyone behind the ball when we could, and that was it. And then we took our chances, and obviously Dominic Szoboszlai had probably one of his best games in a Liverpool
He was
shirt.
on the deck after full time because of how much he gave.
Shattered, and I want to see another performance like that. I'm not bothered about us trying to keep possession or anything like that. I just want to see us it sounds terrible to just be like, but when there's Haaland on the pitch and Cherky played well last night
Foden
against Dortmund,
is a
if you watched it, Doku's not that good. I think Doku's quite predictable. He's getting a little bit of form about him, but he's not. I've said it now, haven't I?
Yeah, you are.
But it just feels as though if we can sort of nullify their attack, I think we'll be okay. But it's just whether Konate and Van Dijk can cope with Haaland at the current form that they're on at the minute. Ibu Konate looks so much better. I think the last 2 games he's actually been better than Van Dijk, but I don't know if that's just because he's been challenged a little bit more. He's been the one that they've targeted a little bit more.
Which you would always do.
Exactly, he's had more to deal with. Whether we start Robertson or Kirkes, I don't know if Rob will be able to go again. I need Andy Robertson in that game, but if he goes for Kirkes, I understand why. But I can just see Kirkes just being rash. It sounds terrible, and I hate, like, you know,
I thought he was really good when he came on against
he was.
Real Madrid,
he was, to be fair, but for a full...
But the first one was a 50-50 and he was there, and it was like, my words, you've got to win the ball, and fair play he did.
Exactly.
But you know,
I think it's all down to how well we can perform defensively. If you can keep Haaland out, then I think we'll be okay, because it looks as though the likes of Ekatike are looking really sharp for us. I'd like to see Vert still on that left.
Yeah, so would
feel a bit sly on Cody Gakpo in that way. Like I said before, he's creating a lot, but I feel like this is a game that Mo Salah might be able to thrive.
He loves these types of games.
He does. He absolutely loves a game like this. And
he loved Real Madrid as well. So
exactly.
We can see.
Exactly.
But I'm well aware that, you know, we want to get onto some questions in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at Arsenal's fixtures, City's fixtures, and Liverpool's fixtures before we do another one of these shows.
And predict.
And
see how well we did,
going to happen.
Basically. I'll go back and rewatch the show and put it, because I was going to say, shall I put them in my notes what we said, but I'll just go back.
I'll be able to add the points.
How well do you think you're going to do?
Not very good.
I don't think. I'm terrible at predictions. I'm so bad. And I try and be so hopeful when it comes to Liverpool, where I'll just be like, giving us all the wins.
Even when you think, I don't think we stand a chance here, I'm always like, I've got to back Liverpool. But Arsenal sit on 25 points, Manchester City sit on 19, and Liverpool sit on 18. I mean, Arsenal are sat here thinking it's a win-win-win, no matter what happens. They will be probably hoping for a draw, because, you know, they can then go and put themselves 2 more points clear. As for us, we're obviously hoping for a Liverpool win. So let's get into it then. Sunderland, before the international break for Arsenal, they are on a good run. And it is at Sunderland's ground. The problem I have with Arsenal is there's bound to be a set piece that they score, and there's bound to be 0 chances for the opposition.
They're too good defensively.
So we're giving them all 3 points.
Their defence is ridiculous. It's just, are they going to score a goal from a set piece? That's it. Is Sunderland going to give them enough chances with set pieces? And they probably will, but I can't see it be high scoring. It's not like Arsenal to go and, you know, absolutely batter someone.
I mean, they did that against Slavia Prague the other day, but once again, it's just...
When we're talking about the league,
it was a game of football in the Champions League, but does it count?
No, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? We were terrible and we still managed to beat Frankfurt 5. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those games.
It's a valid point.
Yeah, it's just not high scoring when it comes to Arsenal, but they just keep a clean sheet. I'd like to imagine it to be a 0-0, but I think it'll be 1-0 to Arsenal.
That's wonderful.
What are you going for?
I reckon Arsenal win. I'd love Sunderland to pull something from somewhere. Let me tell you, I'm really enjoying watching them. And do you know what? They have actual physicality. They are physical in games, but for me, there's just something about Arsenal where they're on.
You can't break them
cloud
down.
9. So I just see them winning all 3 points there. Manchester City obviously face Liverpool. Liverpool face City. What are you doing?
I hate doing predictions for our games.
This is all a bit of a joke. Let's not hold us to it, please.
I will say 2-0 to Liverpool.
I'm loving the sounds of that. I really am. So that goes into the international break, which means, you know, we'd cover some ground on City, but absolutely none on Arsenal. But when we return, here's where it gets a little bit tasty, and I've been looking forward to these. Arsenal have Spurs at home. I'm going to give them the 3 points already because they just beat Spurs every time I see them. I mean, I'm sorry, I see them beat Spurs. I can't remember the last time Spurs did well against them. Like an Eric Lamela, not a back heel. What is it called that I can't think of? Rabona.
Oh, yeah.
Was it a Rabona? I don't know.
I can't think of the moment that you're talking about.
Where he's stood on the ball and his back foot just comes around and kicks it. Is it a Rabona, Aaron? It's a Rabona, yes. That is like the last time I remember that comes to me that Spurs had success against this Arsenal side, and maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like Spurs.
Could this be the time though? Could this be the one? Maybe, because it feels like if they're going to be derailed at all,
do you know
a derby like that might be the one where it knocks them off. Do you know what I will say? What
I will say is it's a massive positive for Spurs that it isn't at home, because they're horrendous at home. Yeah. So maybe the away game might help them out. But for me, I personally, I've just not seen... I like Thomas Frank. I think the way Spurs fans booed the other day was a bit mad, because I can just see a plan there, and I can see... surely they can't expect too much considering they finished 17th last season. You've got to understand that these things take time and there's progress. Exactly. I can't understand that, to be honest, but I'm going to say 1-1. Oh, are you?
I'm trying to find some sort of way where we can get in there. This is the problem when you don't do a show live, is the fact that we can't let you pick between. So I'll do with get
and without. Get in the
comments, because I like to read what people think, to be fair.
City have Newcastle away that weekend. I mean, I've told you before, it's my favourite ground to go to.
That, what's his name? Voldemarte. He's looked alright, he's looked quite good.
He has.
But I can still see City winning the game.
Can you?
I don't know why, I just think I can.
see it like a 2-2 draw there.
I can see Arsenal dropping points and then City
capitalising.
Yeah, capitalising off that, I think. Newcastle haven't looked that good when I've watched them.
No, but also at the same time, I don't know, I think Anthony Gordon likes the game against City.
Yeah, but he's had a bit of a dip off. I follow some Newcastle fans, and there's articles what's going on with Gordon and stuff like that, and I
don't know, I just think it's one of the toughest grounds to go to in the Premier League, and every time Liverpool go there I don't feel confident.
I feel like City can deal with a difficult ground.
Well, for some reason we're giving City 3 points
there. We don't have to do the same, Chloe. We don't have to do the same. I want to compare what you gave and what I gave.
And then it's Liverpool who have Forest at home. Going to be tough to break them down under Sean Dyche. They've got some good players, but I will go for the win.
Yeah, 3-1 Liverpool win.
Now, this is where it gets interesting, because more so for Arsenal. Arsenal have a home game in the Champions League against Bayern, which we're not going to give them points for any of this, because really we do care.
Bayern beat them now.
You reckon without Luis Diaz? Luis Diaz is now out of that game of football.
That was a bad challenge.
City have Leverkusen and Liverpool have PSV at home. So my thought process here was, I think out of Spurs, Newcastle and Forest, we've got the easiest game. Out of Bayern, Leverkusen and PSV, I think we've got the easiest game. And then Arsenal have Chelsea. Which, I'm
so biased
having
now.
Spurs, then Bayern, then Chelsea, they can afford to drop points in the Champions League. That's fair to say, because they've won every single game. So maybe that's the way that Arteta looks at that, to be perfectly honest, because I don't think they need the win. But I just think if he goes full strength in all 3 games, that's 3 tough games in a week.
I can still see them beating Chelsea, though.
My lord,
you don't have to do that. I can still see that
Chelsea
is so hard to predict. They're so up and down.
They did draw to Karabag this week.
Palmer's fit now, isn't he?
I've got no idea.
I think Palmer's back fit now. I mean, it depends.
Caicedo is one of the best players.
I know. These things
in
change.
The world right now.
I'd still give Arsenal the free. I think Bayern beat them and they beat Chelsea.
I'll give them a draw. I'll give them a draw.
I'll take a draw.
At home for Manchester City, I'm just going to give all 3 points to them, because we don't even need to talk about it. West Ham away, and here's where I struggle, because I'll give you some stats on Arsenal because this rounds into my point in a minute. Arsenal are only a third of Arsenal's goals in the Premier League this season have come from open play. That's 6 out of 18 goals. Since 23-24, when they hired set-piece coach Nicolas Jova, Arsenal lead the goals scored from corners in top 5 European leagues on 37 goals from corners, 11 more than Borussia Mönchengladbach in second. They sit 9th in the PL ranking for long throws on 22. Now here's where it's interesting for me. The top 5 is as followed: long throws Brentford, long throws Crystal Palace, long throws Sunderland, Bournemouth, Spurs. We've played 3 of those teams and we've struggled against 3 of those teams. Brentford, who sit top, we struggled and we conceded from long throws. Crystal Palace, we struggled from set pieces, long throws, long balls, absolutely everything against Crystal Palace really. And then Bournemouth, actually it wasn't the long throws that we necessarily struggled from, but I think Semenyo was doing the long throws for them.
Yeah.
But they still got back into the game from Liverpool losing it in dangerous areas.
Stupid mistakes, really.
So my point being is, West Ham aren't on that list, but I think West Ham are more likely under Nuno to try and exploit the same weaknesses that the likes of Brentford and Crystal Palace tried to exploit. And this is where it gets tough for me, because I don't know if we've fixed or solved that problem. I think Liverpool are playing better, but I don't think they've came up against the same opposition. And therefore, I'm not sure what to expect now against a team that comes and tries to do
that way. Yeah.
Because I've not seen it in the last 2 games, but every time I have seen it, Liverpool have struggled. So here's where I struggle. Like, I want to give Liverpool the 3 points, of course I do, but that's a game I'm actually not sure what to expect.
Yeah, no, I feel the same as you, to be honest, but I don't think that's something we're going to be able to. We can't really predict whether they're going to play that way until we see it. And when I watch West Ham,
to do that,
when I watch West Ham now, it doesn't feel like they've got a selected style of play that's fitting to them at all yet. So maybe they will have to take those sorts of chances by using the long throws and stuff like that to be able to exploit us in any way. Yeah, I think you'd be stupid not to, considering how that's how we've been exploited and how we've managed to lose games recently. Yeah. I don't think we're going to know until we come up against the side that actually tries it, and I don't think that's going to be City. So
are you giving West Ham a single point, or are you giving multiple?
I still think we'll win, because I'm hoping that we just go on the back of confidence now, because everything looks so disjointed and there was no cohesion, and that looks like that's been unlocked now. But I don't know whether that's just because Slott's sort of gone back to the way we played last season, really, rather than trying to cram in all these new players. Obviously he's making it work for Florian now, from what I can sort of tell. He's creating loads of chances and he looks great, but it just feels like everything's sort of coming together a little bit more now, and I just can't see that happening.
Yeah, well, we will see what happens there. But the last game before we do the show once again, because it is once a month, Arsenal have Brentford at home. I'm just going to give them the 3 points, because
there's no point in
I can't be bothered. No Fulham away for Manchester City. Yeah, it's just the 3 points, isn't it? Let's be for real.
If you go back to the Brentford one though, could we sort of hope for a Henderson worldy maybe? Can I write that?
You can live in that world.
Can I live in that world and write that in history in my mind?
Would you like to give them only a point?
Yeah. Oh. From me, give them a point.
From me,
because I've got this little dream going on in my head. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And Sunderland at home for us. If it was away, I'd fear this game a little bit more, but
not at Anfield.
I will give us. I mean, I'll try and give us 3 points. I'm gonna now add the points up that I have gave Arsenal, because
we haven't let them lose a single game.
I've just nearly added 3 points.
Did I say Spurs had beat them, or did I say a draw?
You said a draw.
Did I?
So, for me, Arsenal are on 35 points after these round of fixtures. Okay. Let's do City. So, we both said that they're not going to earn anything from us. I said they'd get a draw at Newcastle, but I did say they'd win the next 2, which puts them on 26 points. And then for Liverpool, I mean, I've not given them a single loss.
You've got to be that way, you've got to be the positive fan. You've got to, because if we come back on this next month,
do you know what's absolutely devastating there? By the way, I pure felt like I was I'd like took points off Arsenal there, and Arsenal finish on 3, 6, 7, 10, and that is a joke. Like, wait, I might have included yours in this. We both said 3 for Sunderland, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, I've gave them 10 points, which is 35 points to them.
What have I given them?
Manchester, I'll do yours in a second. Manchester City, I had on 26 points by the end of it. And then I had Liverpool on 30. So we've closed the gap.
Yeah.
But not by a lot. That's still 5 points.
It's still an improvement.
It's an improvement, don't get me wrong, but for some reason I thought I'd taken more points off them than just one game of football. But
you were
it
a
was
lot
only
more
one game of
rational than I
football.
was expecting, Chloe, to
Let's
be honest.
see what you gave them. So you gave them a win there, you gave them a draw there, win there, draw there. You've got them on 33 points.
Okay.
I'd take that, which means Liverpool would still be on 30 because you gave me the same as us.
Give us a win in every game, didn't
Of course,
I?
yeah, same.
Got to now.
Then you gave City 28 points then.
Did I?
Yeah. So yours is a lot more competitive. Mine, like, basically has City out of the game.
Just this run up to
Arsenal's
Christmas
on
now.
33 for you, City's on 28, and Liverpool would be on 30. Which, by the way, I would take that in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
If someone can get us to that stage where we're one game away, like something's happened there.
I can't wait to see whether we're right now, Chloe, because it will be
I can tell you now, we're 1,000,000% wrong. Because Arsenal will probably win every single game of football and just run away with it. Because
say that?
No, but they just don't concede. My head. I think if Liverpool go on a wonderful run, that is stunning.
You're jinxing everything.
No, I'm doing the right thing by saying they're going to win every game
and then
jinxing them the other way.
Yeah, I tried that jinx game. Although, to be fair, I was doing that jinx thing on Twitter last season when
Go back to it,
we won the
reason we are 7 points behind is because of you not doing that.
Exactly. Well, to be fair, I've been getting loads of abuse for doing the Ekatike and Isak painting. Remember, I said I was never going to paint anyone unless they'd won a trophy for Liverpool, and then everyone kept asking me, paint Ekatike and Isak, so I was like, okay, I'll break the rule. And now my comment section on that painting is, you did this. This is your fault. Well, and I blame myself.
Yeah, I blame you a little too. for Liverpool's, lack of winning games of football. It is all Abi's fault, everybody, for not trying to jinx it online. But that is all from the kind of analysis, prediction kind of stuff. And we'll get into some of your questions because, let's be honest, that we want you involved. That's what we want. So we'll do the next 5-10 minutes or so answering some of your question. Is there anyone you want to go to first?
The most recent question is, are either of you married? No.
Abby's feeling a little...
No, I'm not. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, imagine.
No.
Chloe's feeling a little...
No, neither of us are married or engaged. Sadly, on that part.
Neither of us.
That one stings a little bit for some people in the room, that does. But yeah, no. But you know what? In a year's time, who knows?
Maybe both of us. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows, Chloe?
Maybe. There's a lot of things after the line, but there's...
I've got one from someone. For Chloe, who's your favourite sibling? It's Leah, isn't it?
Oh, Leanne. I mean, that was sent by Leanne, wasn't it?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't have a favourite sibling, me. It'd be rude to say. Do you know what I mean?
It's not Leanne.
No, it'd be me dogs. No, I'm joking.
Poor Leanne sent in a questionnaire and you've just completely told her no. Basically.
Well, I can't. Leanne, Hayley and Mark, all my favourite siblings because they're all my brothers and sisters. So,
wonderful,
Chloe. I can't.
No
it'd
bias
be rude
here.
to choose. Rude to choose. It really would be. It's the one that gets me the best birthday presents every single year. Maybe work it out from that.
Greg's put, would you rather have Ben Louis' accent or Steve Hawes' hair? Who's Ben Louis?
You don't know Ben Louis?
Who's Ben Louis?
Oh my God,
do I know this person?
Ben Louis
Have I met this kid? I'm sorry, Ben.
I don't think you've met him.
Who's Ben Louis?
But Ben Louis, ginger. Sorry, this is just the Ben Louis hate show. You've just asked who he is and I've just said ginger. That's, he's not going to enjoy that.
Would you rather have his accent or Steve Hawes' hair? Greg Sport, that's terrible. Greg? Well, I don't know who he is, but I'm sure he's a lovely guy.
I'm going to
leave Steve Hawes' head alone.
I am going to the last football game I saw them at, which was probably Brentford, if I am correct. So let me get the photo up and I'll show you exactly who Ben Louis is.
The next question after that is, do you binge TV and films, Jordan?
That's Ben Louis.
Oh, yeah. Is he the lad that waved at us when we went to Dua Lipa?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Dua Lipa.
Hi. No, but I've never actually met him.
I'm not going to say where he's from in case there's other people from this area and I'm then attacking your accent as well.
Greg's
it's really,
not a fan of his accent.
No, it's hard to choose between the accent and Steve's hair.
We don't bully people on this show,
Greg. We don't, but I'd choose neither.
I apologise to Ben as well for not remembering who he is. But favourite TV show or film to binge during international break?
I think we're going to be correct. Oh, no, just like favourite TV show is where I was going here.
What do you mean?
Friends.
Oh, yeah, of course it's Friends.
Come on. I also didn't get a high five there.
Well, don't know why you went low and then high. But yeah, of course it's Friends. I like The American Office as well.
We might be simple women, but it's my comfort show. It's what makes me happy.
Yeah. We've had lots of bonding over Friends.
We have.
Friends is the best TV show ever, and I don't care if people sit there and go, oh, it's not that good. No. I honestly think the people who say that it's not that good do it for attention.
She's having a go here. For anyone interested, I also like The Office.
Yeah,
big fan of The Office. I also like, I don't watch it all the time, but Always Sunny in Philly.
I haven't seen it properly.
No, it's quite funny.
Girl?
No.
You need to watch New Girl. I'll watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and you need to watch New Girl because I'm still trying to get Joe to watch New Girl. Though. I think because it's called New Girl, he thinks it's going to be dead girly, but he doesn't realise that it's 3 lads and a girl in an apartment and it's mainly around the lads. So I think that's where I'm like struggling to get him to watch it.
I'm trying to think of other TV shows that I watch.
Well, we both like a murder documentary, don't we?
A crime documentary is, you know... Look, I'm not going to say I like serial killers because obviously I don't. But if you give me a documentary on a serial killer, I'm going to be sat watching that with some popcorn and I'm going to sit there and really get invested in it.
We all like a serial killer, don't we?
We all like a bad boy.
Not a serial killer, like Chris.
Yeah, no, I'm a like. There's Netflix shows for anyone who's into crime documentaries, and if you are into crime documentaries, give us recommendations. We absolutely love them. There's one, and it's like it's basically about the detectives, and they go back in time and they like solve the cases of like major serial killers like BTK and like all mad stuff like that. And honestly, I love nothing more than watching them. They scare me, don't get me wrong.
I don't sleep after them.
No, don't watch them before bed, but they do. Like, it just, I could never imagine, like, how could someone possibly,
just, like, I know, do that to someone?
Like, it's scary and it's not interesting because no one should ever think that way.
No, but it's trying to understand how like, someone could possibly do that.
I live in a world where, like, in my head, I'm a detective, even though I'm very much not.
You and me love trying to find stuff on Instagram, don't we?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. We're good at
we do that. That is how we bond a lot of the times, but we do enjoy, like, having a little guess and, like, trying to figure out with all the clues.
Have you seen that disappearance of Amy Bradley?
Yes,
on the cruise ship one.
That was a good one as well.
I had to let Joe sleep with a light on that. Well, I had to make Joe sleep with a light on because I couldn't sleep. No. Like, because I just couldn't wrap my head around how she vanished. But the evidence of her being on that website, you just need to watch this, by the way, the disappearance of Amy Bradley. And, like, there's still sightings of her today. Honestly, it's so good. And, like, the fact that parents like think that there's a photo of her and the FBI have said, yeah, that photo looks like an older version of her.
If you do want to go and watch it, I'd do it now before Abby tells you the entire story.
I'm going to tell
you. Have you seen Monster, the Ed Gein story?
Don't think so, no.
I've watched that. It goes on for a bit, but it's quite good. It's quite good.
I like a long one now. I've only just watched Don't Fuck With Cats.
Yeah.
And I know everyone watched that years ago. I literally finished that this week and it's genuinely, everyone knows I'm a cat person, by the way. I've got 2 cats that I absolutely love. Like, I was literally raging. I was like, no wonder my mum told me not to watch this. Like, my mum was like, oh, don't watch that. No wonder.
Fred and Rose West, I've watched that. That's quite good on the true crime sitch. Gone Girls. I mean, I'm saying the good, the horrendous. But, like, I love a crime documentary, seriously. I'm so bad. Like, I just...
Do you prefer, like, episodes or, like, a film. Like, you know, you can get an hour and a half. Like, I recently
I'm like a series type of girl because, like, I want each episode to be about something different.
You need to watch Fox Hollow Hill
you're
on Disney Plus.
going to send me
it's
that.
called Fox Hollow Hill. And that was the one where it's the second most bones ever found in America, second to 9/11, and it's literally horrific.
Homicide Los Angeles, really good. Watch that.
Really?
Yeah, there's a good one. But yeah,
We sound like twisted people, but I'm sure a lot of yous relate that yous absolutely
John Wayne
love a murder
Gacy
documentary.
tapes as well. I mean, we do sound absolutely.
Have you watched the? Sorry, there's so many. Have you watched the disappearance? Not the disappearance. The cold case of John Benet Ramsey, like the little girl.
Yes.
Where they say she's like missing, but then she's died in the house.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, you have just ruined it.
Sorry. No, everyone knows it was literally in like the 80s. Everyone knows.
But like, this is different though because there's a lot of them who I haven't heard of, so I go into it not having a clue.
Oh, sorry, don't watch that one then.
Yeah, I don't know what she's done there. She's ruined that for you.
I'm sure if you read the description on it, it would tell them.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, you find out in the first episode, I think, don't you? Now I'm ruining it for you. So maybe just don't watch that one.
I found out when I was like 16 watching like Watch Mojo videos when it'd be like top 10 mysteries and cold cases and stuff like that.
I do enjoy stuff like that on YouTube as well.
To be fair, me and Joe finished the Bake Off final last night.
I'm not into that.
You're not into Bake Off? Are you messing?
No.
I love Paul Hollywood.
They're not my kind of shows, them.
I love Paul Hollywood.
Soaps, any kind of, like Strictly, X Factor, really? Britain's Got Talent, get them away from me.
But there was a Scouse girl in Bake Off this year and I was just rooting for her, but I mean, I'm not going to say who won Bake Off.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because I just absolutely ruin everything. But yeah, after watching Bake Off last night, because this is only like the second season Joe had watched, I was like, oh, I'll have to show you like that scene where have you ever seen the scene? Like that moment in Bake Off where the older woman took the lad's ice cream out the fridge. Do you not know about that?
No.
Basically, this was like a massive drama on Great British Bake Off years ago where this fella made his ice cream cake, put it in this woman's fridge, and this woman took it out on him and he threw it in the bin and he got voted off because of this woman. And then she got apparently she got death threats and everything for taking this lad's cake.
The only part of the Bake Off I know is started making it, had a breakdown, bon appetit. That's all I know.
That's like the celeb one, isn't it?
No idea. I just use that saying quite a lot.
You should watch it if you can be bothered.
No.
You're going to watch I'm a Celeb?
No.
No.
It's not for me. Too many adverts. It's just, I don't care enough to watch those kind. And also, a large majority of the time, like, I might start I'm a Celeb, but like the more weeks go on, the more football is on a Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday.
But I just dip in and out. Like, I'll be like, oh, there's football on, like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Champions League football or whatever.
Right.
Well, I'll just dip in or out. Or while I'm painting, I'll, like, get it up on iPlayer. And to be fair with Bake Off, because it's on Channel 4, you can skip the adverts. So, I'm not getting you into Bake Off, am I?
No, not even a little bit. I won't lie to you.
It's very disappointing.
Sorry about that, guys. I've got one here that says, what's your most favourite piece of art that you've done? And look, I can assume it's to me, but it'd be maybe like a stick man from when I was in school. Of
course, that question was for Chloe, obviously. It was for Chloe's artwork. Mine was probably the clock painting, and I think it has to be.
I mean, everything I see is sensational from you, to be fair.
Oh, thanks, babe. It's got to be the clock.
Do you know what we should do? One of these, do you know the like player portraits on...
The axons?
Yeah, we should do it. But you know the couples one where it's like I draw you and you draw me?
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yes.
However, I'd
like a paint and sip sort of thing, but with like cups of tea.
A cup of tea, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Let us know if you just want a whole episode of me and Chloe chatting while we draw each other.
Yeah, and I won't lie to you, it won't be about Liverpool.
Top comment's going to be no, probably.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're just giving you things that you don't want. Here's another one. Do you still think we will win the league?
I don't think we'll win the league, but I still have hope that it could happen. Like, there's still a part of me that's like, it could happen. It's not out of the realms of possibility, but I don't think it will. I actually think we'll win the Champions League, and I don't know why, but I've just had a sense and a feeling about it since the summer that we'll win the Champions League this season.
Mm.
I think that, but I hope the league as well. Do you know what I mean?
We can pray.
Do you think we will?
No.
Not even any hope in there
I have the slightest little bit of hope.
Arsenal look too good, don't they?
Yeah, it's Arsenal not conceding goals. That is my problem.
If Arsenal don't win this, then Arteta's got to go, because that's got to be the worst drop off if they don't win this league. I think they can't not win it now. I'm just putting all the pressure they put on us every single season onto them.
We'd love it. The last question I'm going to do, you can pick one if you really want.
Do you know what? If you noticed the way I'm just sat here letting Chloe read them all out, and I've literally, I do have them as well.
The one that I quite like, and it's got actually not to do with football, is dream holiday location.
New York. Always New York. I'm not like...
You, Joe, in New York, honestly. Just move there, Abby.
Thank you. I'd miss the football. This is the thing, I've said this so many times, it's like the end, like the dream for me one day would be to live in New York, but I can't miss the game.
That's not holiday. This is a holiday location. You're coming back.
New York's still a holiday location.
It is.
I'm not, like, I don't mind sitting by the pool and having a holiday, but I'd much rather be like walking around with like a cup of tea around the Sefton Park.
If you're taking me on a city break, get me away.
Central Park.
Did you say Sefton?
Yeah. I do like a tea around Sefton Park. Yeah. That's why I said it.
Clean.
I love both. I've got it all here. Yeah. I've got everything I need in Liverpool.
Dream holiday location is really, really hard for me. Like, there's a really good list. I mean, the Maldives looks incredible.
Yeah, but have you been?
No.
So is this dream holiday location or favourite?
No, dream.
Oh, I thought it was like, what have you most enjoyed? If it's dream holiday, I want to go to Japan.
Been there.
I know. Was it worth it?
I didn't really pay, so yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But no, I do like holidays where, I mean, I've got it listed, and man, I'm genuinely not even lying to you. This is my dream list of Mauritius. Really want to go to like the safari angle of it. Like, it looks stunning.
My brain trying to remember what Mauritius is and where Mauritius is.
I'll show you Mauritius now.
I feel like is it a bit like the Maldives? Bit holiday vibe? No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the internet's just a little slow.
Oh, East Africa.
It looks stunning. But this is what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of like, oh my God, it just looks great, doesn't it?
See, I need like skyscrapers.
No, I'm
such a city girl, aren't I?
Give me a pool and a beach, and that's all I need. Zanzibar, that's another major one for me.
Really?
Yeah. Like, imagine doing that.
No, Zanzibar. I thought you said Zante.
No.
For some reason in my head, I was like, Chloe, you don't even drink. What do you want to go to Zante for?
Zanzibar is...
I'd love to do a safari.
I mean, I'm looking at, like, clear blue water is what I'm looking at. I'm also looking...
Mexico's like that. If you go to Cancun.
I've been Cancun.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
It's quite party.
I swam with whale sharks there. It was incredible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the ocean. Yeah. I also like the Turks and Caicos, which is more Caribbean. French Polynesia. I mean, Bora. It's got my name written all over that.
Like where you need
to go. The Bahamas, Barbados. Yeah, no, that was my list. Like, they're the places I'd really like to go.
I don't have a list, but New York is just I've been there and I loved it, and I want to go back again and again and again and again. That's just really cool. Yeah, we're different people. You're a city break, get me on a walk kind of person, and I am. Yeah, but Give me a book, sit me in the sun from 9 a.m. till 5:30. I'm not a get you on a walk type of person though, because I'm not like a go for a walk in the countryside and look at birds type of person either. If I want to go on a walk, like, this is something Joe will tell you, like, if he says, do you want to go on a walk? I'm like, should we drive to IKEA and walk around IKEA? Because there's something to look at. Is that terrible? Because Joe's like, there's loads to look at in the countryside, and I'm like, no, like you. I will walk around Liverpool one. Is that like, are you like me like that, or do you like the countryside? I couldn't live there. Joe loves to just walk me through meadows and that, and I'm like, I've seen the same blade of grass a million times. No, if I'm going on a walk, first of all, you've got to get me a coffee in my hand. Because at least there's something there. Or a tea. Chai latte. One of the two. Give me something to walk around with, especially if it's cold. But like, if it was a walk around New York,
that's in my head. There's loads of stuff to do. So
Loads
that's better.
to look at, loads of shops to go into.
And I'm gonna be really rude here, but I've been to Barca, I've been to Madrid on like city breaks, and it's just not for me. I just want to be by a pool or a beach, and I just want to be getting the suntan.
I like city breaks though. Like me and Joe went to Barcelona. Give Joe so many shout outs in the show.
I know,
I'm so sorry.
God,
It's gonna be like
after,
stop talking about me. But what do you call it? I went to Barcelona like 2 years ago, and for Christmas I thought it was so nice walking around, like eating tapas on tapas is one of my favourite foods. So just like sitting down on the side of the street in a little tent eating tapas. Yeah, Italian's my favourite. Florence is gorgeous. Have you ever been to Florence?
I've been to a lot of places in Italy, but on a cruise.
That's how I seen Italy, you know. I went on like a Mediterranean cruise.
Definitely gone over an hour.
I literally was like, well, Chloe, we're going to have to do 14 minutes because I'm literally like, my lungs are burning. And then I've literally just had a ball with all these questions.
Yeah. So if you ever did want to know more about me and Abby, it very much is take Abby to go and see a cathedral or something. She'd probably be happy. Yeah. Me, not so much. I tell you what though, like, but when you go on holiday, where'd you book? Because you didn't go on that kind of holiday.
No, I went to Greece and then I went to Marbella because I don't mind having a relax. I don't mind it, but if it's me dream, I want to be like walking around somewhere with loads to see. And then
I like the idea of like being in a safari, kind of seeing.
I'm terrified of a safari. The idea of lions coming up to the car is not for me. Have you seen giraffes the way they smack people with their head? No thanks.
Simply stunning.
Anywhere I'm at danger. No.
I get that. Do you like the sea?
No. Me and the girls went to Marbella in the summer and all of them got in the ocean except me, and I was just sat there just like headphones on.
Do you know what we should do? Another episode that, you know, sadly I think you might have to fund this one now. Go on holiday with us.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Chloe and
I'd
Abby
take
on
you
the
to
road.
A safari and you could take me walking around loads of
No, because I think my fight or flight would kick in, Chloe, and I would run off the car and I'd get hurt because my fight or flight's kicked in, and I always take the flight response.
It might do views, so think about it.
She'd let me be eaten, by the way.
I mean, what would I'd jump back here and we'd both be dead. There's nothing I could do in that situation.
I don't mind the safari park.
No.
My dad would never go through in his car or through the monkeys. Though. Yeah.
No, I am that person now. I will not go through in my car through that monkey park.
If my Uncle Paul's watching this right now, which he probably is because he's a Liverpool fan, the funniest thing of my childhood was going through Knowsley Safari Park and him taking his Mini through there and his windscreen wiper got ripped off. The bit that what's it called? Like the screen wash, you know, that little thing that it comes out of, it pulled the whole screen wash tube out, broke his wing mirror, and it's all right to laugh at it now, I think, but I remember being a kid thinking like, he was fuming. Nobody was fuming and it was funny.
But now I can understand why.
Yeah, my car's not going through there. No chance.
But anyway, thank you so much for watching. It was another long episode. Hope we gave you some of the Liverpool football side, whilst also still having your input and answering your questions. We will be back in a month's time. But what I will say to you is we don't really put in get in your questions, and I'm not telling you to get them in now because if they're football related, they will probably be out of date in a month's time. However, if you've got any questions that you want us to answer that's just fun, quirky, or like, you know, absolutely nothing related to football, do get them in the comments section. Do, you know, send them to us. Abby.
DM, stories, Twitter. I get loads of Instagram DMs of them anyway. You can
send them to us as well.
I'll always put stories on as well, saying like on the day, like we're not on the day before, any questions. And if I haven't opened your DM, because like there'll be a few of them, just put it on the story because I'll see it then properly.
Exactly. So thank you so much for joining us. Let's hope the Reds pick up another vital 3 points on the weekend, and we go into the international break having won 3 monstrous games. That sounds delightful to me. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, up the Reds.
Bye.